Good afternoon. To celebrate World Social Media Day, I thought we would commemorate the ever-changing nature of the media and how it has been so beneficial to us over the last few years. But is it always a good thing? Have you come across headlines recently like, "Scientists have taught gorillas how to knit"? Or "The man who sued McDonald's for still being depressed even after having a Happy Meal"? Or that Top Gun 3 is currently in the works and set to release in 2024. Now, all of these make for captivating headlines, but guess what? They're also fake. And I have a feeling that some of you may have believed some of them. What I want to talk to you about today is fake news, and hopefully arm you with some knowledge that will help us tackle this phenomenon. Now, photos like these won't be toppling a nation anytime soon, but our refusal to look at them without an inkling of skepticism can have negative ramifications. What is fake news? Fake news as a concept is not new and has always been embedded in our culture. There are countless references to fake news surfacing in mainstream media. The internet has revolutionized fake news, whether through rumors or intentional misinformation. For example, breaking news: 2 explosions at the White House and Barack Obama severely injured. This sentiment was retweeted 4,000 times in less than 5 minutes and went viral immediately thereafter. This piece of fake news aimed at disrupting society by causing the stock market to crash, wiping out $140 billion in equity value in a single day. Lots of things probably come to mind when you think of fake news. But what you may not realize is that fake news may actually be your fault. And I'm not just talking about news that you don't like. I'm talking about news that isn't even real. So is fake news real? A British journalist had an idea that within the current climate of misinformation, he could create a fake restaurant. He posted pictures of fake food, he got an endorsement, and after 6 months, he even ranked #1 restaurant on TripAdvisor. This was as a result of viral posts, fake advertisement, and targeted misinformation. Fake news spreads by us, so we are at fault for liking, commenting, or sharing something before we understand its validity. According to a Columbia University study done in 2016, around 60% of news articles shared online are not even read prior to being shared. That's almost 6 out of 10 articles. That's why, though it sounds cliche, we must care before we share. We are all members of the media, and thus we all have a responsibility to combat the spread of falsity online. Cryptocurrency fake news is also taking center stage. How many of you have been hacked by the recent Bitcoin scams going viral? Advertisement using fictitious reviews which suggest high gains by famous people. Now, if we can't trust the intel given to us by traditionally trusted resources, how do we discern what is true, what is false, and what is misleading? Take an example from 2016, in which liberals were the first to promote the use of conservative misinformation and right-wing websites. I am referring to the time when it caught global attention when many analysts regarded the sensational victory of Donald Trump during the presidential elections of 2016 as a result of a large number of visits to pro-Trump fake news websites. According to a study done by Stanford University, these fake news websites and social media links garnered around 159 million views during the months of the presidential election. It has been reported that 62% of people get their information from online platforms, making information a commodity sold at cheap prices. This huge technological power pays no attention to national frontiers or regulations. Now let's look at climate change, the threat to our environment and our lives. So if 99.9% of the science behind climate change is backed by scientific evidence, however is competing with a handful of deniers, then this epitomizes fake news surrounding the climate change movement. And so far, for me, the last few years have definitely crystallized the notion of fake news in a way that's truly alarming and not just some slogan to be thrown around. I watched as the world covered the COVID-19 crisis. The public was flooded with hysteric and extensive news coverage, sometimes inaccurate, sometimes completely wrong. Public health experts claim that this may have cost us in human lives by sparking more panic. People were unable to comprehend what was occurring. All that noise made it difficult for people to make the right choices. So what's traditional and what's real? What's editorial and what's advertisement? The lines are blurred. Now let's carefully look at an instance from 2019 in which there was video evidence of a Covington Catholic high school student yelling at a Native American elder. Let's look at the facts. Number 1, the story is current. Number 2, it is reliable as there's video evidence. And number 3, it comes from authoritative resources like the Washington Post, the New York Times, and CNN4. And number 4, it's an informative piece of information. However, when analysts took a closer look at the longer video, they realized that they were different images to the short viral, showing no signs of abuse at all. And this instance showed us that we need to reevaluate the way in which we analyze pieces of information. We also have to remember that social media is media, and the government can't control it because millions and millions and millions of people use social platforms every single day. Finally, you control the media. And I'm not just talking about social media and what you post on your platforms. I'm talking about traditional media. So here are a few tips I came up with to stop the spread of false information online. If you like it, engage with it. If you don't like it, ignore it. And if you don't understand it, research it, because you are the media. To stop the spread of fake news, we need to take a brief step back by being conscious of the impact that we circulate online. Accuracy will become the norm. Thank you.